So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Norton Christian Spiritist Church's page. As you know, I'm the president of Norton Christian Spiritist Church, Chris Archbold, and this evening I've got Karen Wood and Lindsay Percival with us. So, good evening, ladies.
Good evening, Chris. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Pleased to be here.
Pleased to have you with us. So we're doing something a bit different tonight. We are using the church's social media, and Chris isn't in trouble. He has checked with the committee first to make sure we can do it. But we're here to actually promote our workshop that we are going to be doing, which is going to be at Holme Hall. So unfortunately, there's only three of us here this evening because two of the other ladies are a bit busy. So there's myself, Karen, and Lindsay, and we're going to give you an overview of what Holme Hall looks like. So Karen, do you want to maybe just go in a little bit? I'll probably put you on the spot here, but why we came to the name, and then we can obviously talk a little bit about why we've chose Holme Hall and things from there after that.
Well, we're all a lovely bunch of people that have been working as mediums and healers for a long time, and we all have been connected with each other through various over the various years and through different forums and what have you. And obviously, a lot of us met on Zoom. I first met Carolyn Alsop on Zoom. I met you, Chris, on Zoom. And Lindsay and I met at the Arthur Findlay College back in 2018 when we were on a course together. And I met Dawn through Carolyn. So we've sort of always caught up and stayed in touch. And of course, both Lindsay and I go and do a Northeast tour when we with Chris. And that was sort of started from doing the Zoom services. So we thought, well, Chris thought, it was Chris's idea. He thought that it would be a great idea that we all work together. And when the girls got together, Chris couldn't come to the first meetup. When the girls got together, we were just talking about things. And all of a sudden, I just got this brainwave about the soul and beyond, because I was very intrigued by Lindsay's work with the soul power, which she's going to be talking about in shortly. And all of a sudden, I was thinking about the journey that we have with our soul, the journey that the spirit world has here and then goes on to have a journey in the spirit world, and all the different aspects that we have within mediumship that is connected with the soul in one form or another. So that's when I came up with the idea, the soul and beyond. Because we have the soul here to work with regard to healing, with regard to personal growth, with regard to looking at the aspects of our gifts with mediumship and trance mediumship. And then, of course, we touch beyond. We touch other souls beyond in the spirit world. That's with our guides and helpers, with trance mediumship, and also connecting with loved ones through mental mediumship and guides and helpers through healing. So it is sort of like the journey here and then the journey beyond as well. So there's lots of different aspects. And what's wonderful is all of us come together, but we're very different, but we sing from the same hymn sheet because we have the same ethics. We have, we've been friends, similar backgrounds, church backgrounds, sitting in circle. So it's just nice to come together to bring all the different flavors that we offer from the different things that we've done within our work.
Yeah. So, Lindsay, do you want to? Because well, I think in a way as well, this bit was. I think the name came from basically your workshops in a way, the soul bit, because it was the easiest way we could connect. In a spiritual way, I would say. So, do you want to maybe just give a brief overview about the soul and things like that, so people are going to get a bit of an understanding about what we're talking about when we say the soul and things? Because maybe we might have some newbies looking and thinking, well, what they're talking about with the soul, because I've never been in a spiritist church or developed or anything like that.
Absolutely, Chris. And fortunately, you came on actually the first Soul Power workshop that was held last summer at
Yes.
your church. And Karen has just recently done a Soul Power individual session with me. So we all know something about it. But for me, I guess I've always been fascinated in what is that essence of who we are? What is that soul, that part of us that survives that physical transition called death? And what is that continuous existence of the human soul that we talk of as spiritualists? And we spend lots of time developing the different aspects, such as mediumship or trance or healing. But quite often we miss out on that very personal journey of our own soul and what that means to us. And, as you know, I work as a psychotherapist, a transpersonal psychotherapist, which is a holistic or a spiritual view of psychotherapy, meaning that we hold that there is a bigger picture, but we don't say what that bigger picture is. And that really is about an individual's journey and that soul within the individual and the soul's journey as well. So that's from my day-to-day psychotherapeutic work. And we don't spend a lot of time really reflecting on what is this essence and how does it manifest within us, never mind that we can connect to the spirit world and all of that. And what are the blocks, the challenges, the difficulties that we face, and where is that space that we can explore it? So I very much wanted to create a concept that would bring together everybody within a church, or even who's new to a church, who doesn't say, well, I'm a medium or I'm a healer, or I don't quite know. I wanted to have something for a community that we can all resonate with, and a space to explore that. So that's really how Soul Power came about, to think that not only do we have a spiritual power, but we have our personal power too. And that touches upon issues that many people mention, such as, lack of confidence, or difficulties with self-esteem, or self-love, which all spiritual pathways speak about as an ultimate goal. And yet probably that's the hardest thing of all. How do we come to love ourselves, and not just what we do, but love the essence of who we are? So that's Soul Power.
Wow.
And I think I'll just go a little bit last and let people know about me. I know most people on here probably will know about me, but I think it's good so we can get the message out there. So yeah, I think for me, as part of this workshop, the idea was always been from a spiritual side for me, because I think when I very first started out looking for something, I didn't believe in anything back in the day, so my journeys went quite the role reversal from what you would probably class yourself as being an atheist or something along them lines, to becoming a president of a spiritualist church. But what I'm wanting to bring to this side of things is I'm wanting to bring some refreshment and some new content to what we're going to be giving people, and give people actual hope in it. Because one thing that I've been doing over the last 10 years, which most people won't know because they normally just see me as a working medium or a president of the church, but on a weekday night, on a Thursday night, my time's dedicated to helping fledglings come along and work. So that it's, we've got various stages within the church, but when they get to me, they're at the advanced stage. And it's about us getting them at that etiquette where we can get them on a rostrum and that they can feel comfortable being on a rostrum. But looking at it over time, and I'm not saying that this is ever going to stop, but we're at a point of where we're trying to deliver mediums working out there and being able to actually, believe in themselves and communicate with spirit and actually be able to have the courage to go, I believe in what I'm doing. And we're missing certain bits where we need to blend different parts together and not just look at the mediumship side of things. And the one thing that I notice is that we've got all these lovely people all over the country that are able to go, yes, we'll provide this for a workshop for you. Yes, we'll be able to do that as a workshop. But we're not able to bring everyone together at the same time to do that particular task and give people what they are looking for. So whether it's a healing journey, whether it's a soul journey, whether it's a mediumship journey or a trance journey, whichever segment that they're interested in within the spiritual movement, hopefully we're going to be able to deliver that journey to them. And this is what my idea, where Karen was saying earlier on, of bringing us all together, this is where it stemmed from, because we're missing this part of the spiritual side and being able to collaborate together in an essence. So that's basically where I've come from. I've come from a teaching side of things, but for me, it's about wanting to learn more myself and be able to push that onto people, but also be able to give people the tools and feel confident in what they're doing, because you can sit with many mediums on your journey, and be taught different ways. But what we want to do is, for myself, is to be able to unlock that potential that you've got within yourself and be able to make you go to that next level and feel, yes, I'm comfortable in that and I can believe in what I'm going to say. And that's where we're matching all together, I believe, because we've all got that progress of where we know we need to be with delivering this workshop, this one-day workshop at Holme Hall.
When you think about it, Chris, it's interesting you say that, because some people don't quite know where they fit, especially when they are beginning their journey. They know they're interested and they want to develop. They know they've got some gift, but they don't know where to go or what to do. And I think this might give them a look at, it will give them a look at different aspects of it, and also to look at themselves as well, because you've got to look after yourself. You've got to look at yourself. You've got to understand yourself within your mediumship. You've got to understand your own spirit before you actually connect with the spirit world in whatever way, shape or form. So I think coming together, it might make them think, it might open their mind, so then they can go away and actually think, oh, I want to learn more about this. I want to sort of, try to work on my mediumship. Or maybe somebody that has been a working medium for some time has always been a little bit wary, I'm interested in trance, but I don't understand it, or I don't know very much about it. And, even a little bit afraid of it. But, I know, speaking from experience, and I've seen Carolyn work, I've worked with her, and she's a very caring tutor, and she looks after people, and she's an absolutely fabulous trance medium as well. And in relation to Dawn too, with the healing, I've received healing from Dawn. She's given my little dog Oscar healing as well. And so she knows her stuff too. And I know, and obviously having worked with you two, we're all working together, and we all respect each other as teachers. And we've all got a lot to bring and to showcase to people that come and join us on this journey, on this workshop.
And I think that's the thing with this workshop, is this is only a one-day workshop, but we've got another one coming in May as well, which is going to be a one-day workshop. And then we've got, what we have got though, is we've got the big one, which is the retreat weekend. And we're going to start probably talking about Holme Hall very shortly. And the retreat weekend is going to be a full-blown weekend. And we're going to be running that from Friday the 3rd of October to Monday, the 6th of October. So you'll be leaving on the Monday and you'll be arriving on the Friday. So you're going to have an action-packed weekend, and you will be working. Won't the ladies? They'll be working, everybody, because that's what you're paying for. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get the teachings from all these lovely tutors, including myself.
I think just to say too, it's really important to have a safe place to explore.
Yes.
And it takes a cohesive group of like-minded souls and tutors to be able to hold that space, because whether you're a beginner and you don't really know what you're interested in, but something draws you, or whether you want to explore trance, it's all about trust and surrender.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you trust and surrender if you don't feel safe within either that place, that setting, or with the people that are running a workshop? And that's where expertise and experience helps. And the amazing Holme Hall. So I know, Chris, you've got some pictures there. Maybe you can show people, because it is as well about location, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
And it is a very, very special place. So maybe we can see some pictures.
I have to say, Lindsay, when we arrived there, it just sort of like had a really lovely feeling about it.
Mm.
And Holme Hall is in just outside Pocklington near York. So the thing is, if you're coming just for the day workshops that we're offering in March and May, or if you want to come to the seminar, you could always add on time to explore the area, because first and foremost, Yorkshire is absolutely stunning, and York is a beautiful city with so much history and lots of nice tea rooms and lots of nooks and crannies. And Holme Hall is sort of nestled in the Yorkshire countryside, and it's in 10 acres of grounds. And we walked around the grounds. Keith, who has been tenderly, lovingly restoring the grounds, clearing the way so that people can walk around the paths, and there's some beautiful trees. It's absolutely stunning. And as I was drawn to it because I always used to like to walk around the grounds of the Arthur Findlay College, but this is as beautiful, and it's just really, really nice. It's got a lovely peaceful feel about it. You look out and you've got more countryside all around. So it is a very special place, and it felt special, and it felt peaceful. And as you said, Lindsay, it felt safe.
And it's all new. It's all newly refurbished and brand new, and it's got that freshness to it as well. And as you say, lovingly restored. So as a healing centre, I think that it's that from what we had as a concept, it's the perfect venue, isn't it?
Absolutely, and we will have it for the whole time that we're there.
Yes,
especially for the seminar. So it will be hours to use as we want to. So we haven't got to worry about other venues or other things going on. If you book a hotel, this will be exclusively ours for that weekend. And they're very open to different ideas. I even showed Keith pictures of a labyrinth from another centre that I used to use. And he just looked at me, he said, yeah, that could be doable. That could be doable. And I was like, yeah, they're very open to new ideas, and they're really excited. And Steve Barry, who's the owner of Holme Hall, he's been involved in spiritualism for many years. I've never met him, but Carolyn and Dawn have. And he's a fantastic medium and healer. I think he used to have a place years ago in Norfolk. So it really is a very special place. And I think Chris is going to show us some pictures.
You are. We are. We're going to show you some pictures in a moment. But I just want to reiterate from what Karen's saying there. It's quite accessible as well, where Holme Hall's at as well, because it's quite a direct route off the A1 onto the M62, and you're not having to go into York directly because it's on the outskirts of York. It is a bit of a pain for someone like me who's coming from the northeast, because I've got to go all the way around the York Ring Road to get there. But again, it's not a bad journey. It's just getting around that ring road to get to Spalding Moor, where it's at, home on Spalding Moor. But it's a great place as well. So we're just going to show you a little bit what it looks like. So this is Holme Hall. Obviously, this is the front of Holme Hall, but Holme Hall has actually got a church attached to it as well. So even though it's a healing centre and a training centre, it's actually got its own church attached there as well. So it's offering both sides of the coin, really, for everybody, I believe.
I think it was actually run at one time. The church and the hall was run by nuns, from what I can gather, and also the Sue Ryder Trust had it for a while as well. So it's got a lot of history.
Yeah.
It really it's so beautiful. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think for us it was having as well a dedicated spiritual place, because then you've got that energy that's been built over years, and I think that adds the special touch to it, because other places can be quite impersonal, can't they? And lots of foot traffic, like hotels and things like that. But this just has that very special, spiritual, dedicated energy to it, which is fantastic.
See, what you've got there is you've got a Grade 2 listed building as well. So that just tells you how old the building actually is and how much history is in that building. Me, Karen and Carolyn and Dawn were walking around it. I don't know whether Karen was the same, but as you're walking through the building, you can feel the spirit within the building. You can feel it. It's there, and it's that lovely warm energy about that building as well.
So that's the hall that Chris is just pointing to, and then at the side you've got the church as well, which is absolutely beautiful.
So the church is over here, to the right-hand side. So the next one that we've got, so they've got healing rooms in Holme Hall as well. So obviously Dawn will probably be using these rooms a lot while we're there as well. But there's healing for the healers that are wanting to train. I think there's two or three of them rooms, isn't there?
I think so, yeah. I think there's two or three, yeah.
There's three healing rooms by the looks of things. And then that's obviously the front view of the church. So you can see how big the building is, really, when you look at it, because it veers off to the right-hand side as well as the left-hand side. So there's a lot there for the building. You've got the seance room there, so that's a complete and utter darked out room, isn't it, Karen? When we went in there. So when lights are out, it is pitch black.
Yeah. And while we visited last time, Carolyn did a seance for us in the room, and it was absolutely great, and it was perfect for it. So I think she's going to be using one of those rooms to work in. So, and of course you've got the cabinet there as well.
Yeah.
So
So that is actually a working cabinet, that black box, just in case anyone's wondering what it is.
Now this is the good bit, because the rooms have all been refurbished, and it looks like you're in a 5-star posh hotel, I have to say. And every room we went into, we kept saying, I want to sleep in that bed. We were like Goldilocks and the three bears, and they're comfortable beds and beautiful bed linen. And all the rooms have en suites. They've done it so well in a Grade 2 listed building. They've the ones that didn't have en suites, they've done it with a pod. And you would think that it was actually always been part of the room. So who would like to wake up in that bed in the morning? And that's just sort of one of the standard rooms. They do have, there's a couple of, was there one?
There's a lovely poster, and it's right on the corner of the building. So you get both aspects of the countryside view, because you just get it all near enough. You just see everything out there. But just to, I'm just going to plug the facilities here a little bit because I've got the information, if that's all right. So there's 39 ensuite bedrooms at Holme Hall where we're going to. There is also disabled bathrooms on each floor. So anyone who's got disabilities, there is disabled bathrooms available there as well. There is 2 full blackout seance rooms, a variety of lecture and teaching rooms. The chapel is actually 18th century. And yeah, so there's therapy rooms, and obviously, Karen, you've mentioned the 10 acres, woodland and gardens and things. So that's just some of the features that it's got to offer there that I've just found in that pack that I got given last time.
And I think it's nice that people have that space that they can kind of wander off on their own, because, you know, all work of this kind can bring up quite emotional, you know, things and challenges that people have gone through in the past or going through in the moment. So the fact that they can wander around the grounds and, you know, you've got beautiful trees and nature and all of that, I think it just lends itself to that healing and to the soul's journey.
Absolutely. And it's a nice you're getting a little bit of pampering as well. And there's also a lift, which is good.
Yeah.
So it's quite a large lift for people that struggle with stairs. Or have wheelchairs or anything like that, or, you know, disabilities. So it does have, there are lifts there, which is really good.
See, what we've also got as well is on each floor where the bedrooms are, there's a common area as well. So groups, you know, people can meet up. They don't have to go and crowd in each other's rooms. They've got the common room areas, so they can go into them rooms, have breakouts, sit down, have chats together, get to know each other, because that's what this is all about as well. You know, we're wanting people to meet someone that you've never met before, because that's the whole point in this. Is it's about us coming together and being able to walk away and feel like we've got that environment where you've walked in as a stranger, but you are actually leaving as friends and having that journey of that. So, and this place just brings all that out in this. I think you know, we've got a lovely place there. But the common rooms are really good. Now, for a church, for an old school church, you know, what did we say? An 18th century chapel.
It's beautiful.
That is amazing.
It's beautiful.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So that
can you zoom in a little bit on that, Chris? So that people can see it.
There you go.
Because it really is beautiful.
And the lighting's spectacular, isn't it? I mean, it really is.
They've spent a lot of time in the chapel there, making sure that is exactly right for anybody who wants to work in there, you know, because they're going to be doing work, and, you know, they're actually going to be having services and things in there as well. So, you know, they wanted it to be absolutely spot on. And if I remember rightly, Karen had to pick up the tambourine and jiggle it as well. That was on the side. I think it was you, wasn't it, Karen? Did you pick it up?
I can't remember. It was
either you or Carolyn, one of you.
I have to say, it was such a lovely place to walk around. It really is. It's got a very special feeling about it, and I felt completely at home as soon as I walked through the door. And I absolutely thought to myself, God, I'd love to, you know, when you walk into a church and think, I'd love to work in here, you know. And that's what I felt about it. So it really is lovely. Yeah.
So moving on, so that's just looking from the rostrum side to the back of the chapel. Again, you know, it's just it looks lovely. There's a tambourine on the rostrum as well.
Oh yeah, so there is. I could just sort of see all the students sitting there, and us on the, you know, on the front, and getting the students up, and, you know, I just thought, yes, this is a lovely place to be.
Yeah.
It's very friendly, isn't it? It's got a friendly feel, welcoming feel to it.
It's got such a warm feeling to it as well, Lindsay.
Yeah, that's it.
Really.
Well, we're getting excited. I hope everybody watching is getting excited.
And then everyone wants to know where they're having the dinner. Yeah, everyone wants to know where they're having the dinner.
Where are we eating?
Yeah.
And I have to say, Keith is also he's going to be doing the cooking to start off with, and I think they are going to be getting some other people in as the place gets busier. But we had roast chicken, didn't we, Chris? We had roast chicken.
We did.
And he does a mean roast chicken with a very crispy roast potato. So and lots of gravy. And when I asked for extra gravy, I got it. So I was very happy.
But not just
and of course they can cater for vegetarians and vegans and pescatarians. So
absolutely, basically they can do anything, any dietary requirement needed. They will take that into account, definitely. Yes.
So just also to mention on this fact of the dining room as well, this isn't the only dining room, so people don't just think, oh my goodness,
no, there's
not
two.
enough room for everybody. There is 2 dining rooms. But what we would do is when the meals are happening, we would probably stagger it a little bit depending on, how many people that we've actually got on the day, or we'll just we'll move people into both dining rooms if needed be. But there's plenty of room for everybody. It's a huge place, and it's got the potential and what we need from it, really, I think. And I think it ticks all the boxes, because there's other spiritual places that we can go to, that maybe haven't got all the facilities that this has got. So it's really ticking all the boxes. And like you said earlier, Karen, we're not going to get disturbed by anyone, because it's not a hotel or anywhere like that, because that was one of our main concerns when we were looking for somewhere, really, wasn't it?
It was. And also the both workshops and obviously all the seminar is so for the seminar it will be breakfast, lunch and dinner, but for the workshops we're offering lunch and an evening meal. So and from what we saw from the menus, there's quite a good selection there as well. So it's a full day, it's a full experience, the workshop. It's not just about the teaching, although of course that's very important. It's actually about taking some time out for yourself. Lindsay and I were talking the other day about giving ourselves like pamper time, and that's very much what your ethos is, isn't it, Lindsay? Looking after self as well.
Well, I think, if you think about it, the relationship with yourself is the longest one you'll ever have. And yet we invest so much of our time in relationship with other people. So really how we relate and respect ourselves, everything comes from that. And I believe, when we have that strong personal foundation, we can have a much stronger spiritual foundation as well. And I think that that's really what we can give a flavor of for people on this day, workshop. And they do have the option to stay the night as well, don't they?
They do. Yes. Accommodation is open to people at an extra cost.
I think
that can be organised.
I think when I worked it out, and it's only for single occupancy this, but I think it was an extra £30 on top of the cost for a single occupancy room for the night, on top of the cost that's already there. But that's what Holme Hall will confirm and everything when the bookings are taking place. So I'm just going to stop sharing the screen a second, because I just want to go back, and I don't think it looks good with everybody seeing me flick back through the screens. So I think what we'll do now is, if you're okay, we'll talk about our own little bits that we're going to do on the day that we wrote down, if you have got them to hand still. Would you like me to go first?
You go first, yes.
And then you guys can check up on them. So I'm even trying to find mine now. This is great, isn't it? So what I'm going to be offering on the day is the awakening of the soul. So I'm going to be teaching the awakening of the soul. And what I'm wanting to do on this particular workshop for the day here is I'm wanting to be able to basically, whether you're a basic person starting off or you're through at that advanced level, I want to be able to talk you through the steps of your journey and be able to understand how you're connecting with your journey, and then take it from there. And basically what we're going to do is that we're going to connect with the spirit world, but we're going to probably strip you back a little bit. Because what happens is when we get comfortable in our work and mediumship, myself included in this, we get complacent. So it's about being able to strip us back a little bit and remind ourselves of where we were when we very first started, and bring back in some of them reminders of things that we've maybe forgotten about if we've been working. I know I've been working too long in spirit, and I'm not going to say how many years because it'll give me age away. But I know that we do forget things, and it's about finding that reconnection for you and finding that belief. And for the advanced people, it's about being able to step you up that further mark again from that. So it's about awakening the soul and giving you that flair and that passion again and that comfort to be able to move forward. And that's basically where I want to go with this to begin with on this day, to be able to do my side of things. So who would like to go next?
Well, I'll go next if you like. Mine's about soul potential. It's about the potential of a person of your mediumship, and working with that and deepening that connection to open it up a little bit more, find out more information, share the story, find out about person's life. But I also want to look at, I've always been quite interested in the psychic faculty as well, because when I always sit with people for private sittings, I always connect psychically to look at that person that's come for the sitting and see what the need of the sitter is. But then we open it up and we connect with the communicator, and we find out about them and the memories that were shared between sitter and communicator, and the story, and to feel that connection. And nothing sounds as good as spirit feels, and that's what my teacher Janet Parker used to teach me. And it's about the feeling the essence of that person and understanding the relationships to share their story and to share those memories. I can always remember watching a program when I was a child at school, and it was called How We Used to Live. And they would show different aspects of people's lives and what they did and how they got through things. Well, I try to do that, to bring the story of people, how they used to live, what it was like to live at that time, the relationships they formed, the things that they've learned. And it's just deepening that connection within your own mediumship. And also looking at deepening that connection on a psychic sitting as well, because I think that's also important.
Yeah, so soul power really is acknowledging that we all have that incredible source of wisdom, of guidance, of knowledge within us. And quite often we outsource our power, we give it away when we go to private sittings sometimes, because we're looking for that guidance externally. We give it away to the spirit world and say, well, what does, so-and-so in the spirit world think about this? And, in essence, it really is about accessing that God within us, the God of our own understanding. To me, that's an aspect of our own soul. And when we can connect with that truth and that wisdom and that knowledge, we have that foundation from which we can explore all the other faculties. And without that, it strikes me that we can come unstuck somewhere on the journey, certainly ungrounded, and often misguided, because we give that power away. So soul power is that power within us and how to access it. So that's what my contribution will be.
Sounds wonderful, really does. And I think we're going to have another meetup so that you can get to know Dawn and Carolyn as well, and what they're going to bring to the day in March, May, and also the seminar in October. So there's lots of different stuff that we want to share with you. We want to share our experience, our knowledge, but also have fun and get to know you, you know, I personally love meeting new people, and I know Chris and Lindsay do too. And finding out about you and seeing you find out about yourself and look at your mediumship or in a different way as well.
I think one of the main things, you know, is that we've all got our own unique teaching to bring to this, and it's, for me, I feel as if we've got enough teaching there for something for everybody for the weekend, or whether it's the day. There's something there for everybody to take away and learn something from.
Mm.
So, you know, and that's one of the key aspects that, you know, I wanted to really bring into this when we were organising it and things. And I think we've just got that harmonisation right for Dawn to come in and do her healing and things, and Carolyn to come in and do her trance as well. And obviously we will invite them back, like you said, Karen, to be able to come and sell their masterpiece bits as well. And we'll give it another good push as well while we're here.
Yeah.
So I think maybe, do we want to round off on what we're going to be charging and how the book on and things like that, do you think?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So for your investment, you are going to be looking at around about £139. This is for the 1 day workshop. The prices are to come for the weekend retreat that we're going to be doing later on, but this is going to be for the 1 day workshop. And what we're classing this as is because there's so many tutors, we're basically saying this is a taster, isn't it, for people to be able to come and experience what we're teaching, and then hopefully you're going to come back to that 3-day that 3-day retreat weekend, and you're going to get a vast amount of knowledge from that. But for this particular 1 day workshop, for your investment, it's £139. Now that's including obviously your lunch, your tea, your coffee, and an evening meal as well. So what you need to be aware of as well is when we're finishing for the day, which is probably going to be around about 5 o'clock on that day, you are going to be getting an evening meal as well on the evening at 5:30. So for your meals, I can let you know that it is a light lunch and some other food available as well on the lunch meal, and then on an evening meal, you're getting an evening meal as well on top of that, which is more of a hearty meal. We are currently looking at which way around we're going to give that food, but whether it's going to be the light lunch at lunch or at tea time or vice versa, we're going to work that out. But that's roughly what you're going to get, and then you're going to get lots of snacks included in that, because Keith's promised us cakes and all sorts for when we have our breaks throughout the day. But just to mention as well, if you're thinking to yourself, actually that might be a bit late for us to leave, the accommodation's actually available for that 1 day workshop as well. So the accommodation's available for you to stay there. There is an extra cost on top of for the accommodation. It isn't much of an additional cost because you're probably only going to be staying one night. But the addition to the overnight stays is that you will get your breakfast in the morning as well before you leave. So you're getting your bed and your breakfast included in that small additional cost for if you're staying over there. One thing we do need to say is that the church are not dealing with the bookings, neither are myself, Carolyn or Lindsay. We are letting Holme Hall deal with this completely. So they are taking the bookings. As far as I'm aware, they will be able to take a deposit from you, but close at the time they need the amount in full. So you can pay a deposit for it at this moment in time and then pay the rest in full when it's due. My mind's gone blank. Claire, that was it. Claire is going to, Claire will be able to give you all the information. She is on holiday at the moment, so if you have tried contacting them, what I will say is, when's she back, Karen? Is it the 22nd?
It's the 24th of February. Claire is back in the office. So if you have tried, don't give up. Call her again. She'll be back on Monday.
Yeah. And if you can't get a hold of them by phone, drop them an email. The email address is in the poster there as well. they are responsive at getting back to you. So if you are missing them on the phone, please drop them an email, because we don't want you to miss out on what's going to be a great day.
The email is inquiries@holmehall.uk.
Yep.
So we're so looking forward to being with you and allowing you to go, the soul and beyond, to look at the soul and beyond in whatever aspect you want to. And I think we are going to it'd be great to work together, to be in this beautiful place. I'm really excited. So if you're free, come and join us.
What I will say as well is, if you have any questions, you can message the church Facebook page. You could also message either myself, Karen, or Lindsay. We have our own Facebook mediumship pages as well, so you can contact us that way as well through our social media, and we will get back to you that way as well. So there's plenty of avenues for you to be able to ask questions, and please don't be afraid to ask them, because I noticed we haven't got any in the comments tonight, but it doesn't mean people won't come back and ask questions about things. But we are quite happy to get any questions and obviously answer them. I can see there's people dropping in and out all the time, so whether they're putting people to bed or not at the moment, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, if there's anything, get in touch with any of us. We're on social media. I'm Chris Archbold, Mentor and Mediumship on Facebook. Karen's Karen Wood.
Spiritualist.
Medium, are you? Spiritualist medium?
Karen Wood, Spiritualist Medium. Yeah.
And Lindsay, you are?
Lindsay Percival, Medium.
Yeah. So we can pick up the questions and we'll get an answer back to you. One of us will come back to you with an answer. And obviously you can use the Facebook church page to message as well, and I will pick them up and respond to them as well. But I think we've covered everything, unless there's anything else anyone else wants to know. So yeah. So
just to say, I think it can be the start of a wonderful community, and we can only walk this path with like-minded friends that we feel safe with, that we feel comfortable with, who we can share our experiences and help us get off along with Chris's dog to a fantastic start.
Oh, look at Jack, bless him. He wants to come.
He wants a bit of attention.
Oh, bless him.
So we'll see everybody next time. We'll be Carolyn will be with us, and of course Dawn, and anybody who wants to ask any questions at that point about what any of us are offering, then that would be the opportunity to.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, and I think for myself, I'll just say thank you very much, everyone, for watching us and putting up with us, because we are a great trio, I'm going to say. And there's going to be another trio with me again to do this again with Carolyn and Dawn. So yeah, as Lindsay and Karen have said, keep tuned. So thank you very much for watching. And I'm going to say good evening. I'm sure these two ladies would like to say good evening as well to you both.
Yep. Good evening. Take care. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye, everybody.